What's it feeling like?
Mixed feelings. But after a couple of days to process the game, feeling really excited now for the challenge this weekend. So, we've pretty much got our review done now from the weekend, and everyone's really excited and optimistic about the challenge we've got on Sunday.
The club's now ruled out Josh Tracy already, so you don't have that distraction about having to wonder is he, isn't he? Is it nice to know that you can just focus on it as a forward group, what you have to do for the rest of the week, knowing that he definitely isn't there rather than he might be there?
It's probably more helpful for the coaches, I'd say, when they're the ones that work through game plan and how we're going to line up. And I suppose it gives us a bit more certainty earlier in the week. Every week we've been preparing to not have some of our key players, and we're always really well prepared whether they're in or they're not. So we'll be ready to go again this weekend without him.
How does it change your forward line when he isn't there with the way that he plays?
Well, it probably depends who plays in replace of him, whether we go big or small or somewhere in between. It doesn't change how we play too much. We still have the same sort of structure and game plan going in. Probably also depends a bit on the opposition's key defenders and who's a threat on their side of it. Obviously, Port Adelaide have some good aerial threats this weekend. So, if we think that they're pretty dangerous and maybe we're not getting the contest done ahead of the ball, we might look to see if we can shift the ball a little bit more and not bomb it in as much, and or vice versa if we're going well. So those are the sort of little things that we might tweak, but largely it's much the same.
What was the review like, Sam?
Yeah, good review. We did a lot right in the game, a lot right, and we have for the last few weeks. Obviously, the result again didn't go our way, and but we did challenge another quality team right to the end, which was a big positive. Unfortunately, we weren't consistent over all four quarters and let their momentum get a hold of us at times, and they sort of hurt us on the scoreboard and executed a bit better than we did again. So it's something we're continually working on. But again, the really important parts of our game, I think, are in a really good spot at the moment. So we're going to focus on that again going forward, and hopefully those other little bits and pieces come together on the weekend.
When there's those, critical moments late in games for 3 weeks running, do you spend much more time focusing on those?
Not a lot. We definitely go over it, just to acknowledge it. But when it comes down to a bit of execution, it's a hard thing to train when you have that pressure. You can't always work on clutch moments during the week because you're not going to have that same sort of pressure. But it's about, how can we sort of have a really confident mindset, keep being confident to play our way late in games, be really diligent with our role. And if we go into different game modes, whether it's taking a bit more risk with the footy or trying to be a bit more defensive, or it's win the game or try and save the game, that we're just really prepared for that and that we can execute in those moments.
Are the close ones a concern, Shane?
I wouldn't say it's a concern. Like I said before, I think it's a much better position to be in losing close games than being blown out of the water. If I compare the game on the weekend against the Giants to last year when we went and travelled there, it was completely different. And I think this year we've shown a much more consistent brand, and we've challenged pretty much every team, probably bar 2 games this year that we've let ourselves down. So I see that as a massive improvement. If it's a close game, it means you're right in it till the end. And like I said, we'll keep working on how we can better handle those moments. But I'm really confident going forward that it won't be an issue for us.
Do you think the youth of the list has anything to do with not quite taking those moments in close finishes?
Potentially, but it's probably hard to measure whether it's youth, games played, or just other factors, I suppose. But certainly players with more experience can probably handle that level of pressure. If you've experienced it more before, like anything, you're probably going to be better prepared. So I see it as a positive that we've actually been able to go through all these close games, and that's going to hold us in good stead going forward, that we can turn it around.
What do you reckon the right approach is coming up this week when you've got three games that could impact your ability to make finals, 3 other games? Do you think the right approach is to block that out, or will you just be curious and want to watch?
Yeah, look, I think, generally speaking, we can't think too much throughout the week about those other games because there's nothing we can really do about those results. It's unfortunate this week that, fate's not necessarily in our hands anymore. Obviously, we needed to get the job done ourselves, but we do need to rely on some other results. And look, I put it down to own individuals to sort of process it how they want to. Some who usually watch the footy might want to tune in and watch. I personally won't really be watching it. and just be focusing on what I need to do on Sunday against Port Adelaide. Because it won't serve me well at all to, I guess, ride any sort of emotion of those footy games. And regardless of the position we're in, when we get to our game, whether we're fighting for a spot or not, I'm still going to approach the game in the same way and fight right to the end to get a win.
Does it change a lot the way you play when everyone talks about focus on the process and result take care of itself, but now the result actually matters more than anything because you have to win? Like, does that change any element of the way you would go into a game?
No, it's not going to change anything. I think it's just probably more of a test for those, distractions and that ability to actually focus on the process. What better test, right? Like, you're literally hoping that other teams lose so you can make finals, but I don't see how that's going to help us at all, get the job done on Sunday. I think if we just prepare well, like we normally do, bringing the right focuses and mindset into our game, then we'll see what happens.
How do you feel Fremantle's placed beyond this week? If you're able to get in, do you feel like you're capable of making an impact in September?
I absolutely have a lot of belief in this team that we can beat any other team on our given day. We've shown that this year. We knocked off the Swans when they were in top form at the top of the ladder. Brisbane, another quality team that's in form at the moment. We knocked them off, and I've got a lot of confidence we can beat any team. And not looking too far ahead. Like I said, got to focus on Port Adelaide this week and see what happens. But absolutely, we'll be really excited for the opportunity. And if we do get the chance to play finals, we'll use that momentum from the weekend and be really confident going forward.
You didn't do much out there just then. Are you all good?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yep, we've got an 8-day break this week, so we've got the 2 training sessions. So this first one's a chance for some guys to freshen up a little bit. I took that chance today, and I'll be doing full training on Thursday.
What's your gut feel on Sean Darcy with having the importance of him being fit and available again?
My gut feel's probably not a great judgment because I don't know exactly what's going on with his knee. It's not really my job to know either. But I do know that he'll be doing everything he can to play, and I know that he wants to play. So, I'll leave that to our medicos and him to see if he can get through training and get up. But that's all I can really say.
You spoke about some of the big wins, beating Brisbane, like you said, beating Sydney and Sydney. Like, with this position you guys are in now, would it be a sort of opportunity wasted if finals didn't happen for you guys this year?
Look, any year you don't make finals feels like an opportunity wasted. I think, that's what we're all striving for. We want to be in the top 8, and we don't just want to make it, but we want to win finals and ultimately get to the end in that last day in September and win. So, you got to keep just looking forward, and every team's had good runs of momentum where they've won some quality games, and then other games where they've or other parts of the season where they haven't played their best footy, and ultimately we find ourselves in the position we are now. And I've got a lot of confidence in our group, and there's been so much growth and improvement in our squad this year that whether we make it or we don't, I'm really confident going forward that we're in a really good position. And but obviously would be shattering and disappointing not to make the finals.